Hi guys and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to show you how you can make attacking in Unity. First of all, I will add an empty object to the player model for the weapon. Then we can add a sprite renderer component and an animator. The animator controller has 3 blend trees with 8 directions, one for idle, one for moving, and another for attacking. Here horizontal and vertical parameters are used for choosing the direction, speed is for changing between idle and move, and time is for synchronizing the sword animations with the character's animations. Now we can add an object to our sword and add a polygon collider. And in here just change the collider to your liking. After that, I want to control the sword's animation in the player movement script. I already have a state machine with an attack state, so I will use that. First, we need a game object for the weapon. On update, I will call the handle weapon animation function if the player has a weapon. But before we make that function, I will select the attack state if the left mouse button is pressed. By the way, the attack state that I use only plays the character's attack animation and nothing else, so you can just play your character's attack animation instead. Now in the handle weapon animation function, we will get the weapon's animator, and we will also set its attacking if the left mouse button is pressed. Then I will set the time to the normalized time of the current animation that the player is playing, so that both the players and the weapon's animations are synchronized. After that, we can set the horizontal and vertical to the player's direction and the speed to the movement's square magnitude. In our project, let's just drag the sword to the player movement script and create an enemy health script. We will give this to the enemy. Here the enemy will have health and current health as integer. On start, we will set current health to health, and then we can make a tag damage function with a damage parameter. Here I will check if the player has been hit in the last 0.3 seconds to make sure we don't damage the enemy multiple times if he exits and re-enters the collider. Then we can subtract damage from health, and if the player's health is 0 or less, we will call the die function where we will destroy the enemy object. Let's also add a damage flash by making a flash material and a default material. We will get the sprite renderer on start and set the default material to the material the enemy is using. After the enemy takes damage, it will call the damage flash coroutine, and there we will set the material to flash material, wait for some time, and set the material back to default. And we can do the death check at the end of the coroutine. Now we also need knockback, but we can do it in another script, so we can just get the knockback script on start, and we will call the function to apply knockback in the take damage function. For the knockback function, we will make a new transform and 2 float parameters. In the knockback script, I will get the core, which is just the enemy, and the rigid body. Then we can make the apply knockback function with a transform damage source, float knockback amount, and knockback time. Here we need to apply a force opposite to the direction of damage source, so we will subtract damage source position from the enemy's position and multiply it by the knockback amount. We can add this force as an impulse. In the end, we can call the knockback routine, where we will just wait for the knockback time and set the velocity back to 0. By the way, the stunt variable that I'm using disables the enemy from moving. Now we can assign the health and knockback values. And I will use a white material for the flash. At last we will make the damage source script for the collider. Here we need the variables damage amount, knockback and knockback time. If an object enters the collider and has the enemy health script, we will call the take damage function with the parameters damage amount, transform, knockback, and knockback time. Then we can just set the values. In the Swords attack animations, you can see that I enable the collider object and disable it again in the end. You can also do it with an animation event if you want. You just need to have some way of enabling and disabling the collider when the player attacks. When we set the collider to is trigger and start the game, we can see that the enemy gets knocked back and flashes when we hit it. And after 6 hits, it gets deleted. So that was it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more tutorials in the future.